this particular Greater Israel project that they have, that's probably like the end goal as well for Israel, to have that buffer zone as far as possible.
Yeah.
And I think in biblical references, it also includes parts of Turkey, parts of Saudi Arabia, including Makkah and Medina. So that's like a large piece of land.
I mean, वो तो उनके nut jobs, they would actually believe that, they're going to get Makkah and Medina and all these areas. But the idea of Greater Israel from also a secular point of view, which has nothing to do with religion, is just to ensure that जो ratba hai of allies or areas under your control, so that you don't have an adversary sitting right at your border or within, like that they've had before. So for them, I mean, I think like they've gotten a huge confidence boost. This is now achievable. And it will at some level, I think there's been a full stop put at it. But even if they don't achieve Greater Israel, but 4 or 5 years down the line, again, the process of the Abraham Accords and trying to create some kind of acceptance of Israel and normalization will start once again, whether that's by the Americans or somebody else, because the commitment of the Americans and Europe to Israel is significant. And I think it's one that is so significant that even when they're, a state they patronize commits a genocide, they're still going ahead with it. Fine, they give lip service to whatever. So, I mean, I just think that process is not going to reverse itself.
And why is that so? Like, how come they have this much influence over these big powers?
I think it's two things. One is like guilt. I mean, the Palestinians didn't commit the Holocaust, but Europe did. It was allowed for a long time. The US didn't get involved, and they wanted to solve their problem, and they created, this state for them. And over time, obviously, the other thing about the Jewish people is that, I mean, as a culture, they're phenomenally talented.
Yeah.
Not just in terms of like scientific achievement, but in terms of literature. For a very small population, their achievements are phenomenal, like almost otherworldly in many ways. And then they've also got now access to significant resources, money, the media. So they also have, through their own self-organization in the US, especially the US, far more influence than their numbers. And that has to do with a very solid form of lobbying being integrated into both the Democrats and the Republicans, having groups like AIPAC, also weaponizing antisemitism, which is a real thing, but to make it mean that criticism of Israel also means that it's a criticism of the Jewish religion, which it's not.
Yeah.
So they've been very effective for what they've done. And this is, again, also relatively modern. Even up to the 70s, there was a lot of anti-Semitism in the US. But they've managed, especially since, the work that they've done since the 80s, they've become far more successful at what they've done. And this is also not to suggest that, the Jewish lobby is a monolith that represents all. There's significant opposition now also.